Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com and I just got paired up playing a 3-0 game. Had a couple seeks out. One for 5, one for 3, so we have to be real quick with this one, no increment. Let's try a Slav. I like the Slav with a6. Okay, no knight c3, I like this idea. If there isn't immediate pressure on this by the knight. Let's go queen b6 and reinforce d5. Let's get knight here. Queen takes, I'll be taking with the pawn. Can I play bishop d6? No. c5 hits. I could exchange queens first. Let me do this. Move forward. Okay, I'm a little bit happy about that. They've weakened their diagonal, their 7th rank. I guess they're going to go queenside. And we're going to see. f4 might be an idea to clamp down on e5. Okay, pretty much happy with my position so far. I'm playing with a solid structure versus the bishop pair. On g5, will there be e4? Bishop here, f4, and then this move? Yeah, let's give that a shot. Why not? Strike it, my favorite square there, huh? Okay. To be careful, I don't know if I have a good pawn break here. What about taking and then b5 here? Let me give that a shot. I've given up my center. I can maybe play e5 now that I don't have to worry about a pawn here. Let's expand a little bit with my queen side. This little pawn slinky. Get this guy going. And keep going. Yeah, I think that could be pretty cramping. Let's see if he goes in the center. I'm going to take and now play here. Or maybe not. Bishop here could be a bit annoying. Maybe that was an unwise decision. Unwise. Okay. I wanted to do this, but I'm fearing now this bishop move. I'm still going to do it. Maybe I have knight f6, put pressure on this guy. Yeah, let's see. He's a bit restricted, my bishop. I could also consider castling. Defend this square with my rook. I don't know if castling rook to f8 seems a little bit weird. Bishop c4, I'm surprised this isn't played a little bit sooner. Takes advantage of the weaknesses I created. Okay. Knight here, pawn takes bishop takes here. I might be alright with dropping a pawn like that if I could saddle white with these double isolated pawns. I could go. What was I going to say? I was going to say I could go queenside. I'd be dropping this guy. Pawn grabbing. Takes here. Okay, less than a minute. Gotta go quicker. Alright, we're gonna go in this direction. Bishop takes, I'm gonna take here. Yeah, it's clearly opened up, and I think white is the better side here. Let's come back. I'm happy that at least it wasn't the rook that came here. I have a strong bishop. Maybe that's about it. Could think about maybe getting to the 7th rank. He's got that covered. Knight jump into here. Actually, what's wrong with grabbing this pawn? Let's get one back. It's down 2. Okay, I guess we're going to have an exchange here. And I think it's important that I get my bishop on this nice central post. Opposite color bishops, I'd be clinging to, trying to hold on to a draw. King up, maybe rook to a8. They have an extra pawn, but a couple of them are split. King up, knight here. Yeah, let's move the king up. I need to get my rook active. Knight d5 is an idea. It hits with tempo. Yeah, let's do that, actually. Why not? Hit out the pawn on e3. Bishop here. Oh, they just missed that. Well, that was a lucky one, huh? Ooh. Yeah. I don't know. They could have just played bishop to c5. Let me go back. I was clearly the worst side there, being down a couple pawns. Let me flip the board. Yeah, I miscalculated. I didn't really correctly weigh the strength of this bishop relocating to the c4 square by giving up my center like that. It's a pretty committal decision. I think that this is a pretty normal position here. Certainly not going to play perfect chess in 3-0. Having that extra 2 minutes is a big deal. 5 minute compared to 3. So g3. Yeah, what I was planning is if this push, I was going to play here and try and break this down. If ever a capture, I could get it. h2, and then maybe jump in here. But g3 seemed to be pretty good reply. Let's reload that. g3. I take. This is an important moment, and I'll be curious about this position right here, this middle game position. Solid, pretty solid structure. Okay, 2 isolated pawns, but I do have the files for my rooks. I don't know if I could really make great use of these files, to be honest. I think this idea to take. Actually, this position is one where I'm struggling to find another candidate move. Maybe that's another reason why I went with this. See, going like this, these guys will be stripped. He's incredibly important because if he's not on the c file, I have a set of double isolated pawns, and that's pretty serious. You know, things like takes here. If I'm taking like this, there's knight b5, and if we do it where the knights are exchanged, it's still really bad. You know, this is a wonderful square for the bishop. So I can't let that happen. So I don't have a good pawn break in that of e5 until I kind of give up my center. So takes, recapture. b5 must be quite alright. And now maybe here I should reconsider. Yeah, maybe this idea was just not good. I should maybe have looked more into maintaining control over the light colors on the board with my pawns. I kick him away. It'd be a different story if I push here and he's forced in reverse, but knight e4 seems to be quite alright. And then with the bishop playing here, it combines well. They intersect on the f7 square soon, the bishop on c4, the rook on f1, and then because of that pressure, my position feels some restriction. So if I could do it over, I think I would do without b4 and play e5 immediately. Yeah, I think this is already an improvement. And I feel pretty confident that the computer will agree with that. Yeah, to play b5 like I did and then play e5 without b4. I can't allow this strong position for the bishop. It's too good. He's the one bishop that I really have to keep good control over. So, and from here, if white is allowing me to take here, just kind of making a dummy move. If we have this exchange, then at least I could rely upon this square for my pieces. My knights will find a good home, and this should be equal. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I'd prefer to play black here because I would have the d5 square. And doing something other than that, maybe black has to give this up or maybe even consider pushing instead of king g2. Maybe this is an idea. You could see it getting pretty sharp now with maybe b5. I'm not sure. Yeah, this might be a good reply into the to this e5 advance. Taking like this, I don't think I have any issue with that. Now if I'm kicking the knight later and this knight e4 move happens, this is a different story. Double isolated pawns. Just like I was referencing earlier about if I don't have my c pawn, these two double isolated pawns are a glaring weakness. Well, similarly, if white does not have their d pawn and then goes in for this double isolated pawns, that's rough. That's a big weakness. Compare that with what happened in the game. This was a group of 3. White is still having their d pawn. They have control over the important e5 square. So yeah, this will be a very critical moment. Here, e5, d5, I'm not quite sure how to assess this. On b4, white has the in-between move. Capturing, if I take here, they take here with check, and only then recapture, so I'm not sure. On b4 takes here, knight here? Maybe. Takes, and then knight here. This is maybe an improved version. Yeah, e4. Well, maybe even something other than that. How about knight here? That might be something. Eyeing up the d3 square, maybe he jumps into a4. Yeah, this is pretty active. Okay. Yeah, this is the big point, because I'm worse at this stage. Bishop c4, I'm on my heels. The bishop pair is simply thriving. I'm down a couple pawns. 1, 2, 3, 3. Yeah, 2 pawns. Should probably just protect that, huh? If white could do one better. Playing something like bishop to c3. You know what, maybe there's simply no rush either on the white end. Doing something like this and playing b3, it's a little bit slow. Instead of bishop c3, which is giving up the bishop pair. Maybe a little bit too easy and allowing the damage of the structure. Yeah, in the end they dropped a piece. I'm worse though in this position. I did not accurately assess that middle game position. So this is where they blundered, they pushed the pawn. But something like this, the a5 pawn secures the bishop. I don't have b6. And, okay, maybe I could actually get this pawn, but there's no way I'm better here. No, there's moves like this. And then after the knight moves, the bishop could play here with check. This a1 square is covered by the bishop, so the rook can't come over to defend. But after a kick of my knight, let's say here, there's this bishop check, and I'd actually be getting mated with rook to d8 next. Yeah, I guess they just missed this backward move, knight takes bishop. But yeah, let's review it with Stockfish 7, and we'll see where we could make an improvement. I'm just especially interested in that one key middle game position, so let's give me a minute and I'll bring it up. Okay, I'm kind of going to fast forward to this key point in the middle game. I'm pretty sure it's evenish throughout up until that point. Hang on. On this knight a h4 move, I have queen takes and then bishop here. This is something that I have missed playing on the white end. So I could play with still the bishop pair. Well, it's suggesting this in order to maintain that pawn. But hey, this knight looks a little bit weird, huh? If he's not going to hunt down my light square bishop and I have good harmony between my pawn structure and my remaining bishop. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that's something to be on the lookout for. This very natural hunting down of the light square bishop could be met with takes, and then here, looking to track down that b3 pawn. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I've made that mistake before on the white end, and so did my opponent, but I didn't take advantage of it there. Didn't see it. Okay, so we went with this. I still have an opportunity for it, taking and then bishop c2, but it wasn't on my radar. Let's take with the knight. A takes can't be bad. Bishop there, g3. And this is the moment. This is the big moment. I just want to give it a little bit of time to think. D takes c4 is the move I played and what it's suggesting. And probably b5. There's nothing wrong with b5. Improve some control of some light squares. Bishop back. And now it does like e5 right away. And I imagine after b4, it's going to like white. This is where there'll be a shift. Not a big one. It's suggesting knight to d1. Knight e4. Doesn't have an issue with this. Takes. It still likes e5. And on bishop c4, it does like knight f6. And on takes, bishop takes, bishop takes. Just want me to go grab that pawn. I wasn't able to voice it during the game, but the reason why I didn't do this is because I felt a lot of pressure. Like, I can't castle kingside. And I thought after, like, this move, what am I doing? Oh, okay. It's computer chess. There's this move, rook to a4. But yeah, this is pretty scary. It was just my general feel, but of course there's some concrete solution. I guess it is okay to grab that b2 pawn, but yeah, it seems super scary during the game to do this. Takes. What about rook to b1? Bishop e5, rook here. Knight takes e4 as soon as the rook isn't on the f-file. So I guess it's okay, but I really have to see that I could get this pawn right back. Let me go back a little bit more. Doesn't like b4 as the top move, but you know, this isn't bad, but yeah, I'd like to play this position where I do maintain control over c4. I don't want to give this square up so easily. I still think it's the right idea to keep him on b5. e5 was pointed out just a moment ago, but I guess another idea is knight to b6. e5. It wants to go with a4. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm threatening what I already pointed out to take and then jump into the d5 square, saddle white with this isolated pawn. If takes, I imagine it's the knight who improves his position by 2 ranks. And yeah, pretty evenish. It's saying slight advantage for black, but yeah, pretty much equal position on a4, b4. Knight a2, bishop c5, huh? Yeah, it's pretty sharp position. I don't yet have a reliable home for my knights, and that concerns me. You know, you know, he could be kicked away. This e-pawn could get rolling, maybe even establish himself on e5. So it's still a little bit of an uneasy position for black. Okay, yeah, the one other thing I want to look at is after this move, e5, if white is doing a passing move like that, is this the right idea to take and then play into b6 and then focus on this square? Yeah, black from here has good control. Yeah, I could rely upon that square here, d5. And this was one other variation I wanted to look at. After e5, suppose this move. This is the one that I was considering. b4, d takes, b takes, and not knight here, because the double isolated pawns. Knight f6, knight c5. Knight f6. Yeah, shielding this rook from seeing f7 directly. Yeah, it's still a tough position. But yeah, if white did go with this, I guess this is the idea, to give that knight a kick. Okay, I'm not sure what more to really talk about in this one. It was really the middle game position, that one quick point with knight h4. You could exchange queens and play bishop to c2. I'll have to really remember that one when there is that tension between the queens and that knight move comes in. You could exchange queens and then immediately strike at the b3 pawn. From here, as it played out, I didn't take on b2, and I'm just worse. Pawn plus. Knight takes. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Rook to h6. Oh, I'd rather resign than play rook to h6. Man. Yeah, this isn't something you want to do. Devoting your rook to just babysit that pawn, so human's going to look for something much more active than these strictly defensive moves. I grabbed a pawn, and then just came back. Grabbed another one. Okay. I guess this final position isn't so clear, huh? Even though I'm down a pawn. I have good pieces. Good minor pieces. The bishop and knight. I played king c7. It likes knight d5. And this is where they blundered. So I guess in this final position, preference for white, but I guess not so much. I pointed out bishop here. Rook to a8. e4. You don't have to react. You could take here and be on the bishop. Very direct stuff. Yeah, if the knight moves, it's a mate in 2. Rook to d8. Okay, yeah, a quick end there after knight to d5. But yeah, what caught my attention the most was that middle game position and seeing how, well, aside from the queen exchange at this moment here, followed by bishop c2, aside from missing that idea, keeping that b pawn put, keep him right here, go with e5, but still maintain control of these light squares. He's that X-factor bishop. Have pawns around to watch over those light. So, okay, well, sudden end to this one, but yeah, as usual, I hope you were able to still take something away from this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.